Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. I hope you're all doing well. My name is Kitty, and this is the Martini Glass Girls Guide to Becoming a Performer. So, this morning, we're going to be talking about success. So, we've had a little chat about this before where we mapped out what we considered as being a success in whatever way we're imagining. So that could be within work, that could be within your life, that could be within your relationship, whatever. Okay, so we're going to delve back into that a little bit. Some of you've done that before, some of you won't have, so we'll have a little chat about that in a minute. Then we're going to talk about how we can start moving closer towards that success, because it's all well and good knowing what we want, but if we don't know how to move to there, then it's pointless, isn't it? So this is our usual goal setting day. Monday is always our day of setting daily goals. But I want you to ask yourself, when you set your weekly goals normally, do you set yourself goals that you know that you're going to do? Or do you set yourself goals that challenge you? So that's a question that I want you to have in the back of your mind in a sec when we start thinking about what success is for us. So I know for me, I don't do that actually. I do always choose things that I know put me out of my comfort zone. Good morning, Amy. So I like to challenge myself to do things, and if I don't think I'm going to do something, I announce it as something and it makes me do it. So for example, I've done this for lots and lots of things. Like when I used to get jobs, I used to say I could do something when I'd never done it before. And then I'd be like, shit, I'm going to have to learn how to do that now. So when I started stilt walking and when I started doing fire, often the jobs that I got when I was doing those in the first few months, I got by saying that I could already do the skill when actually I couldn't. I just said that I could do it. And then I had to learn how to do it. There was no way of getting out of it. Again, I've done some singing jobs and I just basically said, yeah, I do singing jobs all the time. And then I had to learn a set list and things like that. And they're probably some of the most fun jobs that I've ever done, because I actually had to really put some effort into doing them. And I'm not suggesting that everyone works like that, they don't, but that is how I work. So last week we had a content creation challenge that some of you guys were in a different group. And I've been saying that I'm going to create this planner for ages. I've been banging on about it in my head that I'm going to do it, and I've not done it. So last week, when I was giving out prizes at the end of the week, I'd said to myself, I'm going to say that the planner is the prize, because then I'll have to create it over the weekend. I'll just have to do it. I won't have any choice about it. So that's what I did. On the Friday, I said, right, these are the winners. This is the prize. And in my head, I had an idea of what I was doing, but it wasn't a physical thing yet because I hadn't done it. I needed that push, that little bit of a deadline to get something done before I could do it. So have a little think about today when you're goal setting, rather than setting a goal that you know you're going to do, I'm going to go to the gym 3 days a week. If you already do that, it's a pointless goal. You're already going to do that. Think of things that you don't normally do, that's a new habit that's pushing you out of your comfort zone, that is an actual achievement when you achieve it. It's not something that you would have done anyway. So before we come back to that, I want you to have a little think about today what success is to you. So we're all in this group because you've joined at some point because you want some information about how to become a performer, how to become a professional paid performer, because that is what this group is about. And within that, how to become a successful paid performer, because we all want to do something to the best of our ability, don't we? If we're going to do it, you may as well do it to the standard that you think you want to be at. So first of all, you've got to ask yourself, what is success to you? And that is going to be different to different people within this group. It's going to be very different to different performers, which is why we often get a lot of debates within the industry about people saying, that people who only work one day a week aren't professional performers. You can only be a professional performer if you do it every day, and things like that. That's just because different people have a different idea of success. That doesn't mean that that's a fact. So in my head, you can be a professional performer. I mean, let's look at Dita Von Teese. I 100% for a fact know Dita Von Teese will not be working every single day of her life. She probably does like 3 gigs a year and makes an absolute fortune and then sits at home. So that to me is success. Like, you've got loads of time freedom, but you've got loads of money at the same time. But that to somebody else might not be success. Everybody's got a different bar. So I want you to think about today what your bar is for success. And you can do that in lots of aspects of your life. It doesn't just have to be your performing. It could be something that you're doing if you've got another job at your work, or if you're learning something, it could be to do with that. It could be within your relationships, it could be within your family, it could be within like health goals or whatever. You can literally create a spider diagram with success in the middle, and off that you can have all the different parts of your life that you want to find success in. And then what I want you to do is I want you to think about each one and think about, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being not a success and 10 being a massive success, and obviously these are your own parameters, nobody else's, what number are you on? So for mine, I've got like loads of different things. So I've got like, I've obviously got work. So work for me is probably like an 8 because it's my dance studio and that opens today. It's this group and my course that I sell, and that's doing well. Like, all those things are doing well for me. However, something like health goals might be really low because I've not been able to go to the gym for months, or I've not been able to do this. So then the ones that are really low are the ones that I'm probably going to focus on, because they're the ones that I'm clearly not getting on top of. They're the ones that I'm putting to one side and forgetting about. And so basically I'm a trained life coach, and when you learn life coaching, there's this thing called the Wheel of Life, and basically it's kind of that thing where you're at different levels of success in different areas of your life, and the most content people are the people who are at a similar level for all their different parts of their life, even if that level is low. So even if you're a 5, for everything, those people are more content than some people that are a 10 for one thing and some people are a 1 for other thing. So on Friday, I'm going to do a Wheel of Life with you all, because I think that's a really good visual way of seeing what I'm talking about. But if you just think about the numbers for a minute, and you're probably going to have to take some time to do that today, but once you've done that, I then want you to look at the ones that are low, what needs more work, and how are you going to move yourself forward to that? Obviously, you need to set yourself goals, okay? So is that something you're going to work on daily? Is it something that you're only going to work on weekly? And don't forget, like we often say, we haven't got time for things, but if you've got time to make something a 10 in one respect in your life and something else is a 1, then maybe you have to take some time from that thing that's a 10 and give it to the thing that's a 1, because they need to be more in balance. If you're throwing everything at one thing and one thing is missing out, then you've obviously got the time that you could invest into that other thing for a while. So think about little things that can just move you forward towards that. Even if it was a health goal, it could be going for a walk for half an hour every day. That's a super small goal. It could be eating a healthy meal once a day. If you're somebody who like snacks on the go all the time, it could be pre-planning your meals at the beginning of the week. It could be something that's to do with your work, so you might want to get up an hour early every day and do a bit of extra work. Or it could be something to do with your performing, where you might not have been giving it very much time recently, or you've not been investing in yourself. So maybe you used to like going to classes, but because you've not been able to go to any, you've not been doing any. Or it could be anything. These are just examples. These are like ideas that are popping into my head, but yours could be anything. So today, your task is to do this little success brainstorm. Take a look at all the aspects in your life, because even if you're a super successful performer, like, it's not really success if there's other things missing in your life. If you're like making loads of money as a performer but you never have any time for your family, it's not a success. And vice versa, if you've got loads of time but you've got no money to do anything, that's not a success either. And they're not the only ways to measure success, but they're just really simple ways of showing it, because in society we often use those two things as the ultimate measure of success. Like, think about when you're at school, what do they say? You'll never get a good job if you don't. And the parameter of having a good job really is, in people's eyes, to be making money, isn't it? Whereas that's not necessarily the case. So have a really good think. Pick out the lowest thing for this week. We'll start easy. Whatever's your lowest, whatever's your number one, and then I want you to pick that apart. I want you to think about ways that you can move that goal forward, ways that you can get that closer to all the others are, because we don't want something at a 1 and everything else at a 9 and a 10. So for me, what am I going to choose? I think for me, I'm probably going to choose health goals, and that's my thing that I've been focusing on, really, because that was my lowest thing. I've not been able to go to the gym. I've not been training because I've gotten lazy and I've been focusing on work too much. So work is like doing really well, but I've forgotten about all these other things. So I've had to take a little bit of time away from work to do the other things. And that's working now. I've got a better balance in life of the two, rather than just concentrating on the one thing. So every day, try and just do one thing that is going to move you closer to that. One tiny thing. If you do that tiny thing, or a different tiny thing every single day, you're going to get there. If you make it a big goal and you say, every week I'm going to do this, then if you miss it for 1 week, then by the time you're doing it again, it's going to be 2 weeks. And if you miss 2 weeks on the run, it's going to be 3 weeks before you've done it. So if you just give yourself the smallest goal each day, just to move that little bit forward, just inching forward towards it, that's going to improve your success. And also, you're going to be proud of yourself once you get to that point where you've achieved something that you wouldn't normally want to do. Like, I've been going to the gym and I absolutely have always hated going to the gym, but instead of being like, right, I've got to go for an hour a day and I've got to smash it and I've got to be sweating and I've just been saying to myself, right, well, I'm going to go for like as long as I want to be there, and I'm going to walk on the treadmill for a bit. I might do a little bit of a run every now and again, but I'm not pushing myself too hard, because if I do, then I won't want to go and I'll just stop going. And the same with I've given myself a reward, so if I go, then afterwards I can go in the jacuzzi and have a little chill. So give yourself rewards as well, so that you do those things. Don't feel like everything's got to be a struggle. Just little small amounts of progress is all you need to achieve anything. So that was all I was going to talk to you about today. That's a big task, to look into yourself, into the areas that we don't normally look into, because we have a tendency to just concentrate on the things we enjoy doing and the things that we're already good at and the things that are already going well. We don't often take a look at the things that aren't doing too well, because that's probably how they got there in the first place. So this week, use this week to try and get more of an idea of where you're at in all the aspects of your life, and pick one to just make like tiny little incremental movements towards, and let's see how we're doing on Friday. And then hopefully in a week's time, and then a month's time, and then if you did tiny things every day for a year, think how much you could achieve. The achievement would be massive. So I'm going to leave it there today. I hope you have a wonderful Monday. To all those people who are reopening their businesses today in the UK, then good luck. To everybody else, I hope you have a wonderful week. I will come back on Friday and we'll do another educational talk then. So see you all then. Bye bye.